types of places where I'm on. It's good to hear. Moving on to the next Karina Cardinal is Fatal Legislation. And you all have read it, correct? Yes?
Yes.
As you know, some exciting stuff. I kill off a senator in the first chapter. All very exciting.
Because in the first book, if I remember correctly, nobody died, right?
Correct. I don't always write murder mysteries. This is a murder mystery. I'll be honest, the next one is not so much a murder mystery again, like Isabella's painting. Some of it's just mystery, solving some sort of crime or exciting adventure. Not always going to be straight up murder mystery. I like to change things up a little bit.
It's good to mix things up.
This one came to me when I saw an ad for pacemakers that were being recalled because they could be hacked.
Oh.
And that was a TV ad that I saw, actually. And I thought, wow, what a great way to kill someone off. And it kind of snowballed from there to create this Karina Cardinal mystery.
That is a fascinating way to come up with a book idea.
I understand that we writers think very differently. I recently went on a tour of a forensic facility with a bunch of murder mystery writers from the Sisters in Crime chapter. Could tell that we were kind of surprising the tour guide because we were asking all sorts of crazy, well, if I kill someone up, if I want to stab someone and put some poison on it, and how would I make it?
Yeah.
I think the hour-long tour turned into 3 hours because we're very inquiring. I think he was just a little stunned by some of the ideas we came up with.
I'm always fascinated how writers' minds work. That part of our brain didn't develop. We're just in awe of how you guys do that.
Since writing is kind of a second career for me, I used to work for a medical association, did some policy things and did some international affairs work. I just assumed that everybody had this kind of creative imagination. And when I used to write sometimes for our newsletter, and the editor was always cutting out my flowery language, just stick to the facts. I think I always had a little bit of creative writing in me and was a little bit stifled in the office world. It's nice to be able to let this out. Once I started having children, I stayed at home with them, and this is what developed from that. That's how I ended up writing. I had written actually a couple of outlines for a book and then stuffed it in a drawer. And when I finally had some time when my kids were in preschool, I had a little bit of time to myself, and I started writing my first novel. Snowballed from there. And now look what happened.
Wonderful things happen. You just said you wrote an outline. Did you do that automatically, or did you research how to outline a book? I'm just curious about the process.
I did take a creative writing course in college. Also, just from some of my college research courses, they taught us how to write outlines for, obviously, our nonfiction papers. Writing an outline for the fiction novel was not that difficult. And I don't always write an outline. I didn't for Isabella's painting or for Fatal Legislation now that I'm thinking about it. But I have for this third book, and it moved along a little bit quicker for me. My romances, it was easy to fly by the seat of my pants. But with my mysteries, I think they flow a little bit better, and I don't have to do so much back work, because I know in Isabella's painting and Fatal Legislation, there were times that I would get chapter 19 or 20, and I'd be like, I'm going to fix this or change this or tweak this, and then I got to go back into chapter 5 or 6 to lay down that clue or to change someone's comments or attitudes. I think I've decided that I'm going to continue outlining, but my romances, I really just flew by the seat of my pants. I had ideas of what the beginning was going to be and where the ending was going to end and what my climax would be, and I just kind of wrote, my characters actually kind of wrote the rest of the storyline. And I'll tell you what, sometimes those characters go off on their own little tangent, and I don't always
we hear
know where
that
they're headed.
all the time.
Yes, we do.
I find that so fascinating. Well, Ellen, can you tell our listeners a little bit about Fatal Legislation?
We have Karina Cardinal. She is our intrepid lobbyist, pounding the pavement. She approaches a senator in the Capitol. I don't know if you've ever been to the Capitol, Washington, D.C., but we have tunnels beneath the Capitol, so they're trucking beneath the tunnels. And in order to get down there, you have to have identification, obviously, and be allowed to go down. So she goes down with the senator. While they're down there, she's arguing some legislation that he was originally in favor of, and then when it came back to the Senate, he torpedoed it. He starts to basically have a heart attack right in front of her, and he falls down, and she tries to revive him to no avail. And so initially they just think it's this heart attack. As we get further along in the story, we find out it's a little more nefarious than that, and someone hacked his pacemaker and killed him from afar. So I thought that was a very interesting way to murder someone. It's a little more insidious and creepier, not someone looking down the barrel of a gun or one-on-one type of thing, but somebody from afar, which I really think kind of gives that just creepiness to the whole thing. And so Karina finds herself in a bit of a pickle because she was the last one with him. And so she's a person of interest, not yet a suspect, but things could certainly turn south for her. She, with her inquiring mind, heads out and going to try and solve the crime herself. With her latest sidekick, Rodrigo, he's a new character. He works with Karina at the lobbying firm that she works at. The two of them kind of pair up. She's got a sidekick, and they're pretty entertaining, I think.
Great. I have to say, Ellen, that when I read Isabella's painting, I thought I was reading a cozy at first, but wow, Isabella's painting had so much action and thriller elements to it. And the same thing with Fatal Legislation. You've done such a good job of keeping that action moving.
I guess that's just in my storylines that kind of roll in my head. I kind of see them as like a movie or a video type of thing. And I do tend to try and put my characters in a little bit of mortal peril to keep things exciting. And I think it hopefully keeps the reader interested in continuing to read it. I think one of the greatest things I get from my readers is when they say, "Oh, I stayed up late last night. I'm exhausted because I just couldn't put the book down."
Definitely.
Well, they do lend themselves well to a movie kind of theme, I would think. They would make great movies or even like a TV series.
Right. I would love to see Karina in a TV series. Do have some feelers out there, nothing specific.
Yeah,
but,
we hear that's a very long process.
Certainly is. I've had friends mistakenly option their book for 10 years and then have it go nowhere.
Oh,
so I've learned some things from some of my other writer friends. Should anything come to fruition, what types of things I would try to negotiate for in hopes that it would be more likely to come to something.
Well, good luck. That sounds like a uphill battle a lot of times.
Yes.
For any of our listeners that have not read any of Ellen's books, I really suggest you go get those because she's right. I could not put them down. What other kind of events do you have coming up, Ellen?
I will also be at the Suffolk Mystery Writers Festival. I believe that that's in August down in Suffolk County. I'm going to be going to Creatures, Crimes, and Creativity. That's up in Columbia, Maryland. Actually, that's a really great conference. It's not too big. We have some wonderful authors coming. I really networked with some great authors and readers last year, and I'm really enjoying that. They take about 100 to 150 people at that conference, so it's small and very intimate. We all eat together. All our meals are included. Lots and lots of panel sessions.
Wonderful. We'll have to check that out.
That one, it's called Creatures, Crimes, and Creativity, and it's in Columbia, Maryland. I think May 31st might be the last day for their early bird registration fee, and then I think it goes up next month. If you're interested, you might want to check it out.
Definitely.
And then I'm doing a Royal Book Bash, which is going to be here in the Woodbridge area, actually in October. That is it's a variety of genres. There are going to be a fair amount of romance writers. I know that. That's just a day-long signing with a lot of folks. We have a lot of fun. I'll probably do some wine tasting at my table, so feel free to stop by.
Oh, definitely.
I will bring some beverages. I think that's just a $5 entry fee to get in, and you can just go on the day, and that's down here in Woodbridge, Virginia. All of my appearances are on my website at ellenbutler.net. Stop by.
We will update our show notes with her email address and with a link so they can click through to get to you.
I also have some other things that are coming up. Well, I know I'll be presenting a workshop at the Suffolk Mystery Authors Festival. Well, basically, I'll be talking about you've written your novel, now what? The different options of publishing, because I have been both traditionally published, small press published, and self-indie published. And I'll be providing a workshop on your different avenues, what's expected, what you can expect. I'll get a little bit more in depth on some of the indie publishing because that's what they wanted me to do. So I'll be giving that workshop at the Suffolk Mystery Festival. And then I've also been inquired by some libraries here in Northern Virginia to provide that workshop as well. Still, I provide teach about women in the OSS, lady spies of World War II. I'll be doing that at a couple of different places, some in Williamsburg and a couple other places that I'm still working at right now.
And you said the third Karina Cardinal book is out or you're working on it?
I have just finished the rough draft and it'll be coming out in the fall.
Okay,
Wonderful.
We'll look for that. What did you say it was called?
That one's going to be Diamonds and Deception. It's going to deal with a diamond theft. Karina's sister Jillian will play a bigger role in this one. Actually, Jillian will be kind of Karina's sidekick In the third one, two sisters will be working together to solve the issue.
Oh, sisters in crime fight.
Yeah, we'll see some of our recurring characters. Our Silverthorn guys will be back. They're always entertaining. Mike will be back. Also, we have another cameo by Mrs. Thundermuffin, the neighbor.
Oh, good.
I think Mrs. Thundermuffin will be playing a little bit larger role in the fourth book. Enjoying her character, and I like to expand on her a little bit. And I think we'll give her a little bit more of a role in the fourth book.
Well, I think she's inserting herself.
She's a little bit based on a woman I knew that used to live in my grandmother's building. I think the personality is quite like the woman that my grandmother lived near in the building, but the clothing choices are more.
Oh, okay. I get what you mean.
So I've embellished her a little bit for my storylines because I like to put her in some wacky outfits. Here's my feeling. When you're, 70, 80, you want to wear some leather boots and dye your hair purple or whatever, go at it.
Go for it, yes.
Live your life.
Yep, absolutely.
Probably going to be one of those crazy ladies wearing pink hair at that age.
Well, Ellen, thank you so much for revisiting with us, and we look forward to the new book in the fall.
Thank you, Tracy. And ladies, it's so nice to talk with you again, and I really look forward to meeting you guys one-on-one.
All right.
Us too. Great.
Enjoy this beautiful day.
You too. Take care.
All right. Bye-bye.
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 We thank Ellen and we thank Hannah for visiting with us today.
Don't forget to check out Ellen Butler's website. Find out all about her books and what's coming up in her series. She's at www.ellenbutler.net.
And please check out our website at itwasadarkandstormybookclub.com. There you can find links to all of our episodes, to our social media, and our wonderful newsletter. You can sign up there to start receiving those on a monthly basis.
Please do. We work hard on these things. The Anthony Awards nominations were just announced May 15th, awarded at BoucherCon in October in Dallas, Texas. Unfortunately, we won't be able to be there live, but here are the nominees. For Best Novel, Give Me Your Hand by Megan Abbott, Little Brown and Company. November Road by Lou Burney, William Morrow. Jar of Hearts by Jennifer Hillier, Minotaur Books, William Monroe. Sunburn by Laura Lipman, William Morrow. Blackout by Alex Segura, Polis Books. Best First Novel, My Sister the Serial Killer by, I'm going to butcher this one, Oyakam Braithwaite, Doubleday. Broken Places by Tracy Clark, Kensington. Dodging and Burning by John Copenhaver, Pegasus Books. What Doesn't Kill You by Amy Hicks, Midnight Ink. Bearskin by James A. McLaughlin, Echo. Best Paperback Original Novel, Hollywood Ending by Kelly Garrett, Midnight Ink. If I Die Tonight by Allison Galen, William Morrow Paperbacks. Hiroshima Boy by Naomi Hirahara, Prospect Park Books. Under a Dark Sky by Laurie Rader Day, William Morrow Paperbacks. A Stone's Throw by James W. Ziskin, 7th Street Books. Best Short Story, The Grass Beneath My Feet by S.A. Cosby in Tough Blogazine. Bug Appetit by Barb Goffman in Ellery Queen Mystery Magazine. Cold Beer No Flies by Greg Heron in Florida Happens. English 398 Fiction Workshop by Art Taylor in Ellery Queen Mystery Magazine. The Best Laid Plans by Holly West in Florida Happens. And finally, the nominees for the Best Critical or Nonfiction Work, Dead Girls, Essays on Surviving an American Obsession by Alice Bolin, William Morrow Paperbacks. Mastering Plot Twists, How to Use Suspense, Targeted Storytelling Strategies, and Structure to Captivate Your Readers by Jane K. Cleland, Writer's Digest Books. Pulp According to David Goodis by J. A. Gertzman, Down and Out Books. Classic American Crime Fiction of the 1920s by Leslie S. Klinger, Pegasus Books. I'll Be Gone in the Dark, One Woman's Obsessive Search for the Golden State Killer by Michelle McNamara, HarperCollins. And finally, The Real Lolita, The Kidnapping of Sally Horner and the Novel That Scandalized the World by Sarah Weinman, Echo Books.
Wow, what a great list. We got a lot more reading to do, ladies.
Yes. Consider giving us a donation through Patreon or PayPal. Either one, any amount would be appreciated. And we thank you for listening, and please join us next time. And remember,
life would be boring without a little mystery.
Bye.